Here's why I'm still continuing to buy ZBCN, because 10 cents, that's around a 52x from here currently. Now, people may be in two different state of minds when it comes to this, right? Because, some people, I'm hypothetically assuming, may think that, you know what? That's impossible, man. That's a little bit too much. But in another case, some people may be thinking, what, around a 52x? That's kind of bad. They may be thinking that, you know what? This microcap could maybe do like a 1000x. Now, I'm going to address these two, kind of debates, I would say, right? I'm going to argue my point here because I first want to start off with the first point, which is some people thinking, oh, this is too crazy. Well, here's the way to take a look at it. When it comes to, again, 10 cents, considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point would be around $7.7 billion. Let's say give or take $8 billion, right? How is this too much to ask for? Let's say during a fully fledged bull run, Bitcoin went to the price of $300,000. And let's say at that point, market cap is around $6 trillion. Now, if we assume that, let's say somewhere along there, Ethereum went to a market cap of around $2 trillion. So that's combined $8 trillion, right? Now, are we saying that when it comes to that amount of volume, 7 billion, or should I say around 8 billion, can't flow into this? This is just the way to take a look at it. Keep in mind, $1 trillion is literally $1,000 billion. And in $1 billion, that's $1,000 million. So I think that if anything puts into perspective that, you know what, those figures are very massive. And why can't during a fully fledged bull run some flow into ZBCN, even as of right now? Altcoins, I think, by no means are in a fully fledged, altcoin season. And we're still seeing this very amazing recovery when it comes to ZBCN. And I predicted that, by the way, so I can't say I told you so, but hypothetically, maybe I did tell you so. But even besides that point, again, I just don't see why during a fully fledged bull run some of the attention won't flow into this, let alone if, let's say, something like XRP went to the price of around $15 and XLM went to the price of $10. Imagine just from those four projects alone, right? I'm talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, XLM. If they do very well, are we saying that some can't flow into this? I just don't see why not, really, hypothetically at least. Now, when I finish talking about that, I want to talk about the second argument, which is, people who may be thinking that, okay, around a 52x from here, it's kind of bad. Well, here's the way to take a look at it. I don't think it's caca, because imagine, hypothetically, if I were to put $1,000 into, ZBCN right now, and theoretically, let's say it were to go to the price of 10 cents. Now, at that point, that $1,000 would hypothetically be worth 52 grand. So why is that bad? The only reason I would ever even want to go to ZBCN anyways is because, first of all, I missed out on the run when it comes to XRP and XLM. I'll admit that. Nothing wrong with that. But, I can't go back in the past, right? So then what can I do? I can try to find the next up-and-coming project within that space, which I think this is, but then at the same time, not take crazy risk by entering some random microcap, because I'm not looking for a 1000x, but I'm not looking for like a 4x or 3x or something boring like that. I'm not looking for that, right? So I think given my parameters, of course, each individual is going to probably look for different things. I'm totally aware of that. But personally for me, when I take a look at ZBCN, it fits what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? It's like, for instance, let's say I live in a cold environment. Of course, I might be looking for a jacket in the wintertime, right? But then maybe if I'm living in a different area and there is no winter there, so what's the point of, buying a winter coat or something like that? It's just kind of the same principle. It depends what a certain individual is looking for. And personally for me, I am looking for something like this. So it's a no-brainer for me. Now, some people out there, they may be thinking, Zebec's a little bit boring. It's just kind of like, a carbon copy of Ripple or Stellar. A little bit, but you know what? It brings more features. And I don't think it's bad, because Zebec is even focused on something called AI-based PayFi. When I take a look at something in Zebec, it really represents, to me at least, something that could maybe be so special, because we take a look at how well Ripple did, how well Stellar did. And I think that even though that can't really be topped by a new project, I think ZBCN could hypothetically maybe, achieve a glimpse of that. So I don't mind. And as we all know, as of right now, a big narrative moving forward is RWAs, like real world assets and RWA tokenization. And Zebec is focused on that pretty much exactly, because it is focused on RWA payments. So if you think about it, Zebec, focused on RWAs, has aspects of AI. And also it's a miniature version of Ripple and Stellar. That's kind of a no-brainer. Not to mention, Zebec, one of its investors is Circle, the creator of USDC. That's kind of amazing to even hear, actually. Also, Solana Ventures is one of the investors of Zebec. I mean, Zebec is such a no-brainer for me. I mean, all I have to do right now is basically just stay patient. That's the way to take a look at it, because the market's going to wake up when it wants to wake up, but I'm still going to be buying. And personally, for me, I think a much more logical strategy is just, acquiring, holding, and just waiting. That's it. Because imagine, right? If I did not do that, and like what we're seeing as of right now, ZBCN having, a pretty good resurgence, I could have missed out on that. If I was, predicting things to go lower and I was like, oh man, if it could only go a little bit lower, then I'm going to go all in. What happens if it doesn't go lower? Like what we saw not too long ago. It just went up like that, right? So then here's the thing. The way I view it is that something like, ZBCN, a much more logical strategy for me, and not only just for this, right? For a bunch of other projects, is just acquire, hold, and I just wait. Literally, that's it. That's the only thing I can control, really. I mean, the market's going to wake up when it wants to wake up, but you know what? Instead of trying to control something that I cannot control, which is the markets, because how can I control that? I'm going to control myself, which is just, again, acquiring, holding, just waiting, and believing in projects that have strong and solid fundamentals like Zebec. Does ZBCN have the best exchange listings? No, it could be a lot better, actually, but even besides that, who cares, right? It's doing pretty good without, fantastic, I would say tier 1, tip of the spear exchange listings, in my opinion. So it doesn't really matter. It's still pretty good nonetheless. And again, the performance is kind of backing that up, that, it's pretty sufficient to kind of have this type of attention and volume. Now, also, when I take a look at Zebec, it's not a project that's really forgotten about when the market wakes up, because again, we're seeing a lot of attention right now when it comes to Zebec. So I think that when the market really wakes up, even in a much more massive way, let's say Bitcoin goes to under 50,000, 200,000, 250,000, let's say even way beyond, this doesn't seem something that is like, out of the realm of possibility to gain attention. At least that's the way to take a look at it, and in just a much better way. But it's just a waiting game, and 10 cents, that is my price target for this bull run. And why would it not? There's over 600 million crypto owners currently, according to Crypto.com research. All I have to do right now is just stay patient, continue to accumulate more, hold, and just wait, because I think better days are ahead. And I think the amount of crypto owners might not stop here, right? Because if Bitcoin reaches $200,000, let's say, I think there could hypothetically be way more crypto owners than just around 600 million, at least in theory. So I just have to stay patient, and 10 cents, that's my price target for ZBCN, and that's why I'm still buying it, even though nothing I say is financial advice. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.